vitamin C, and then it has a bunch of herbal material as well. And it's got some of the immortalium ingredients in there. It's called Zerafem. And then if you want to go the herbal route, chased tree berry, also known as Vitex, can be helpful. Red clover can be helpful. Red raspberry can be helpful. There's an over-the-counter product called Remifemin that I believe is made with something called blue cohosh or black cohosh. Those are herbs that can help you. You get all these in an herbal. You can get all these in an herbal store, or you can make your own herbal tinctures, which is the way I like to do it. Is where you just go buy the herbs off the internet or at Whole Foods or at a health food store and make your own tinctures with alcohol and glycerin. I'm sorry, you had a question?
Yes, I do. How long does a woman? How long are we on these? I mean, is it forever?
Right, well, yeah, it wouldn't hurt you,
forever?
but yeah, of course. The nutrients, especially the herbs, you don't need to stay on forever. But the nutrients,
no,
yeah,
you want about the hormone replacement.
Oh no, well, it depends. Some women do stay on them forever if you want to kind of maintain. Supposedly, you'll help maintain youth. I wouldn't stay on estrogen forever. In fact, I'd be really careful with estrogen anyway, because that's a very dangerous, potentially dangerous substance. It's not really in the body in very high amounts. The amounts you're taking when you use a cream or using a drug are tens or hundreds of times the amounts that are in your blood, even thousands of times that are in your blood.
Even quote, bioidentical?
Yeah, there's no such thing as bioidentical. Some marketing guy came up with that term.
Okay, so what am I taking, Ben?
I'd be using the progesterone without the estrogen if it was me. Okay. You'll have to see how you do. Stay on the estrogen only as long as you think you need it. Once you go through, you're not in total menopause. You're having zero periods. That's how you can tell.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to, but of course, too much estrogen. Yeah,
that's right.
No,
that's right.
I'm in menopause. I am menopausal now.
I would be weaning off. If it was me, I'd be weaning off the estrogen, staying on the progesterone, making sure I was using DHEA, which we'll be talking about here in the next couple of days. Maybe pregnenolone, but progesterone and DHEA is what I'd be sticking to if it was me.
Okay, well, I'm following all your protocols there.
Okay.
You lined out except for the herbs, and I'll.
Couple last things for you. Last things. Make sure you're using omega-3 fatty acids, but all the EFAs, but especially omega-3s, and make sure you're working on fat absorption. That's the key right there. Because if you're not absorbing your fats, you're not going to absorb your fatty nutrients or your EFAs, and that can compromise your hormones too.
That's through the gut.
Through the gut. That means digestive enzymes, probiotics, etc. You know the drill, probably.
You know those little bubbles they put over people when they have a great idea?
Yeah.
Your bubble should be a stomach and intestine.
You're right. You're right. It should be. Good deal. Thank you so much, Robin. Have a great day. Thanks for calling. All right, Joe in Texas. Welcome to the bright side. Good morning. What's up? Joe. Do we have Joe?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
Yeah, listen, I got a little problem with my wife's having a problem. She's 72. She weighs about 130 pounds. For the last several months, I mean, she can't eat anything no matter what she eats. She has severe diarrhea.
Okay, that's not good. How old did you say, 70?
Yeah, she's 72.
Never happened before?
Well, off and on, but
I'd be doing a fast. That's a serious problem because that means malabsorption, and that can accelerate her aging and ultimately her demise and lead to all kinds of problems. So, here's the deal: you want to do a fast, a Swear V cleanse. That is, where you use half a bottle of Swear V every hour for 2 or 3 days. Completely go food free for 2 or 3 days. Then, when she starts eating again, see if she can notice specific foods that cause diarrhea, that stimulate diarrhea, or make it worse. And then she's going to want to avoid those foods. All right, it could be that the body is trying to eliminate something. That's what diarrhea is. Diarrhea is one of the ways the body evacuates stuff that it's not agreeing with, or it can also be a sign that she's not absorbing her minerals. When you don't absorb minerals in the intestine, in the small intestine, which is where they're supposed to be absorbed, those minerals pass through into the large intestine, and minerals attract water. They're like water magnets. And as those minerals that are not being absorbed pass through the small intestine and enter into the large intestine, they'll pull water along with it, and you can go into diarrhea. So it's either a sign of some kind of food toxin that's getting into the intestine, and something that the body's trying to get rid of, or it's a sign of lack of absorption. You're not going to know until you do the elimination diet and start to work with food elimination and a food diary.
As it is, she eats hardly anything.
And she still has diarrhea?
Yeah.
Well, that's a sign that the body is not absorbing something. So whatever she's eating, it's not being absorbed. You can't have diarrhea if you don't eat. If there's nothing in there, you're not going to have diarrhea unless you have some kind of infection.
So how could someone really go a couple of days without eating
Easy.
What
Easy.
would you suggest that she would be eating,
Nothing. It's easy to do. It just sounds scary, but it's really easy to do. Now, if you were eating for mental reasons and psychological reasons, it's tricky because, we become brain addicted. That's different. But from a purely physiologic standpoint or perspective, it's very easy to not eat. Now, the first hour or couple hours or 4 or 5 or 6 hours or half a day may be a little difficult because she's used to eating. But after that, she's not even going to want to eat. So, but you have to do it because until you figure out what's getting into the system that's causing the diarrhea, it's going to keep happening. And you can't figure it out until you clear the decks, until you hit the reset button. So fasting for a couple of days, then the elimination diet, food diary and the elimination diet. You can also try, once you get going with foods, using digestive enzymes and supplements that support the processing of foods. Probiotics can be very helpful.
Right now we have, my daughter got her some probiotics.
Make sure it's enough probiotics. I'm sorry, say again?
Probiotics.
Yes. Is she on any prescription drugs, by the way, Joe?
Oh, yeah, she's on a bunch of them. And I'm
okay. Okay, you know what, Joe? You got more going on. There's probably all. What is she on? What kind of drugs is she on?
Well, she's had a couple of stents, and I know she's got a statin drugs, and I know that you've been talking about that for a long time.
Statins can easily cause diarrhea, first of all. Any drug can cause diarrhea because, as I say, diarrhea is one of the ways the body evacuates poisons. So it could, if you look on the package insert for any prescription drug, diarrhea is a possibility, except for antidiarrheals, of course. But most prescription drugs have that component to them. So it could be that. That's what I'd be looking at. If she has heart issues, if she's got a stent, had a stent put in.
She does. She does have heart issues.
Well, if she has heart issues, then she could very easily have digestive problems. She could have fat malabsorption. There's a very important relationship between bile and the liver and the heart. A lot of stuff going on there, Joe, and it's very difficult to tell you on the telephone. But I would be looking, if it happened all of a sudden, I would be looking at foods. You may want to have her lay off her prescription drugs for a little bit and see if that improves the condition. There's tons of stuff I could tell you. You're going to need to call back because we're out of time. But basically, you're looking at the body trying to evacuate something, whether it's a prescription drug or whether it's some other food toxin, some kind of food toxin, or whether it's a lack of absorption of minerals. I can't tell you on the phone. If you want some quick relief, use bentonite clay. That'll suck up the excess moisture and it'll slow down the movement of foods through the intestine. And we're out of time. I apologize, Joe. Thanks so much for your call, though. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have yourselves a beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.